been a partner with AIOP, which is fantastic, and we'll speak a bit more about that in a second. But I guess just to get straight into it, I mean, how many of us here have used a recruitment firm at some point in time? Either as a job seeker, hiring manager, maybe a recruitment consultant, maybe now, maybe in the past. And how many of you have walked away from that experience with a recruitment firm or reflecting on that, thinking, I just didn't really get, with all the effort of time and in some instances money, I just really didn't get what I thought. I could have got a lot more for a lot less effort or money, depending on what aspect you're coming from. Can we sort of relate to that comment? And that's what we're going to show you to do tonight. It's about, Diva Recruitment is very much about how you can do more with less. But I guess a bit more about me. I've been known as McTigue-More amongst the industry. We've actually rebranded to Diva. As a result, we all have Diva names. So I'm now known as Cat, not the meow kind. It's a bit tricky for me to get used to. But I guess I haven't always, obviously, been a managing director of award-winning recruitment firm. I actually own Diva, and I'm the managing director of it. We've got a great team together, some of which are here tonight. I actually started off my career temping. And as an office professional, left school, started doing a bit of reception, temp for quite a number of years, and then worked into that PA/EA type role, office manager type role. So throughout that, I guess, 8 to 10 years or so, I was really dealing with recruitment firms quite often, either as a temp, candidate, or as a hiring manager, or as a consultant in the past, as some of you know. And looking back at that and dealing with recruitment firms nearly every other week, there was a times that I just get so frustrated. I mean, I don't know, have you ever had a time that you can relate to where you're speaking to somebody and you know that you're communicating, you know exactly what you want, and you're doing a really good job at putting that down the line, but they're just not getting it? Have you ever related to that? And you just get so frustrated, like throwing something at them because they just don't get it. It's really that simple. Okay? So I can see some of you can really relate to that comment. I'll leave that there with office professionals that we deal with that daily almost. And I think as a recruitment consultant, it's actually quite interesting because you sit here and you learn the back end of the recruitment. When I became a consultant and started managing a few firms within Brisbane, and it's a very different environment. You know, you become a recruitment consultant because you want to consult. You end up selling. It's probably the first industry I've ever worked in where there's a keep your job target, and even your bosses call it that. So it's not about how good you are, how great you fit in, it's about numbers. And the second you don't get the numbers, you leave your job, and it's really that simple. And I remember sitting down with my boss one day, we had a pretty big day, we sat down, opened a bottle of wine, it was great, and we're having a chat about things we could do better in the industry. And she said to me, she said, Kate, she said, you know, all these ideas are great, because obviously I've got fantastic ideas of how we could do this better, I'm inspirational, I've just joined recruitment, changed the world. But she said, the reality is, recruitment's been doing what it's been doing for the last 50 years. We've always done it that way, we've always been very profitable. Don't you think that's good enough? And I thought about it, and I thought, no. I mean, how many of us really, if we had the option of having exactly what we wanted, or having something that's good enough, would deliberately go for the good enough option? No child hands. We want what we want. And that's a very Diva-ish type statement, which is one of the reasons we've branded into that, because that's not unreasonable to expect in our mind. And it was right at that point in time where I had that inspirational, almost revelation, where I knew exactly why I was here on Earth. I knew exactly what I wanted to do and what my path was. Has anybody had that moment? Some of you would have already had it, some of it is probably to come, where you know what your calling is, and it's in your soul of souls, and you know exactly where you're going, and even if it's against everything else everyone else speaks about, that's where you're going. So the part of being able to stand here after operating for 2 years now and being an award-winning firm, partnering with industry leaders such as AIOP, it's amazing. And it's that sense of pride, and it's interesting, I was speaking to my partner yesterday, and it just really came to me. It's like that, not that. At work, something's happened before. It just hits you. It's like, wow. Can't believe I'm here tonight and representing what I represent. So let me tell a little bit more about Diva and exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it differently. We're going to keep it very brief, obviously. We're not the key speakers tonight. But basically, Diva Recruitment, we do the traditional temp and perm, the same as any other recruitment firm. Obviously, the differences there is that we do offer an option in guarantee periods and an option in placement fee. So depending on what your budget is, depending on how we can cater that to be able to fit within your finance options of what's best for you and your company and your hiring strategy at the time. From a recruitment consultant point of view, we've actually changed that model a fair bit, and we've divided our team into two. Against the traditional model, we now have two teams. We have a recruitment specialist team, which are accredited, and their job is to provide advice. Their job is to consult or to sell to those who are looking at recruiting. The other end is the talent scouts, and their job is to get out there and find the talent. Those of us who are looking for work, who we might already be employed, we might not, but let's find that great talent and get that up there and get that advertising so our hiring managers know that they're around. But more importantly and more excitingly, as we step into the future of recruitment, next week we're about to launch virtual recruitment, and we're already doing this to a degree. We're the first recruiters in Brisbane and in Australia that we know of that has gone down this track. And we're about to open our candidate database online for you to search for free. So you can hop online and you can do like a sync search via our website if you're hiring. You don't need to place an ad on the sync. You don't need to have a look and go through that screening process because all these candidates are already there for you and you can see a lot of their details. You can subscribe and that can give you more access, things such as resumes, etc. But we can cover that later on if you're interested in knowing more. What it means for our candidates is that they can register from home and not even have to come to the city to register. I mean, if everyone's ever registered with an agency, you know how frustrating that is. I think I've registered with every agency in Brisbane in my past. The other thing, I guess, is the dollar savings. With some clients, they're saving over $100,000 a year in recruitment fees by going virtual. And there's a lot of other benefits there that they have as well. Aside from that, our De-Stress Diva team, who's enjoyed the De-Stress Diva massage tonight? Anyone? Yeah, they do a great job, Megan and Sunny. Our De-Stress Diva team is our marketing team, and in my opinion, it's the best part of our team, because I like it. But it's a team that you can actually book them to come to your office. They can do a massage for you at home, at work. And as AIOP, you actually do have free De-Stress Diva options that you can book in. We'll share, and plus a lot of other benefits from our partnership, which we will share with you as we roll it out through the newsletter. So keep an eye out for that. So I guess standing here and having that wow factor, being able to, that's capped over very quickly, but what we've covered there, we're really breaking new territory. And I wouldn't be able to feel that I guess, sense of contentment, or that sense of almost, it's almost unbelievable what we've achieved in such a short time. If I didn't have that inspiration or the courage to follow that inspiration, when my boss challenged me with that, and I thought, you know what, I know where I need to go. And I quit my job and I went on a personal ambition to change the tradition of recruitment, and we found people who were more than willing to follow us in that. And none of that would have happened if we didn't initially have that frustration, or I guess that diva-ish type output or viewpoint of, I'm going to do more with less, and I'm going to find a way. And at the end of the day, that's what we all want, isn't it? So if you want to know more about Diva, the reality is we're online, divarecruitment.com.au. Better give me the right address. Let's start again. Divarecruitment.com, no AU, and there is recruitment in the word. That's a bit scary that I've been working on that for so long and don't know the address. Lachlan would shoot me down as I stand. So feel free to visit online as we are virtual. Feel free to speak to me afterwards if you want more information. And by all means, please enjoy the De-Stress Divas. I'll be here at every event as we're the gold sponsor for the year at every event of AIOP. So make sure you seek them out. So without further ado, back to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Kate. And now on to our main event this evening. I'd like to welcome